Distinguished guests, I am privileged to welcome the panelists and the moderator of the next session, Beyond the Bottom Line, a CEO conversation. We will learn from the key three business leaders on how the expectations for the company's role in society are changing, because it's no longer the case that a company only needs to provide jobs and deliver profits to shareholders. Our CEO panelists will discuss how the world is changing, how their companies are responding, and their own views about the path forward. Our first panelist is Mr. Chartsiri Sophonpanich, President, Bangkok Bank Public Company Limited, which is a leading Southeast Asian bank and Thailand's market leader in corporate and business banking. The bank has a long-standing presence across Southeast Asia, as well as in China, Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan, New York, and London. Its international network includes over 300 locations in 14 economies, the largest overseas network of any Thai bank. Bangkok Bank's multi-tier distribution platform spans approximately 1,000 domestic branches and approximately 240 business centers and business desks across Thailand. Products and services are also provided through digital channels for business and retail customers, including mobile and internet banking service. Next, I am honored to introduce Mrs. Suchitra Lohia, Chairperson of IVL Foundation and Deputy Group CEO, Indorama Ventures Company Limited. Mrs. Suchitra Lohia is one of the founders of Indorama Ventures, PCL, and she has played a hands role in the growth of the world's leading intermediate petrochemical manufacturer since its inception in 1990. During her 20-year career, Mrs. Lohia has worked in various capacities at IVL and today is Deputy Group CEO and a member of the Board of Directors. Apart from her duties as a director, she oversees the CSR activities of the company and is chairperson of the IVL Foundation, playing a vital role in the integration of the culture of positive citizenship into the day-to-day operations at IVL. And the third panelist, welcome again Mr. Thapana Sirivadhanabhakdi, President and CEO Thai Beverage Public Company Limited. Now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are ready. I would like to give the floor to our moderator, Mr. Suthichai Yoon, who is the co-founder of Nation Multimedia Group and the founding editor of the first Thai-owned English language newspaper, The Nation. For decades, he has been a columnist, TV anchor, blogger, commentator, social media content producer, and now he has his own digital media outlet, Cafe Dam Media Group. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the three panelists and moderator in the session, Beyond the Bottom Line, a CEO conversation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This conversation is taking place at a very critical time. The topic officially is beyond profit. But I think at this very juncture, the topic should expand into beyond the COVID-19 crisis too, because I believe sustainability in this context involves looking into the future, and how we cope with the crisis will determine how sustainability in society, in the business context will determine the future of this planet as well. So, with Kun Chartsiri, Kun Suchitra, and Kun Thapana on the panel, we can expect some very deep discussions on the question of sustainability under the current situation. Some people think that sustainability is purely environment, but a lot of people are now suggesting, in fact, taking actions to prove that sustainability has a broader and more important definition involving community and governance. I'd like to ask Kun Chartsiri, what is your view of sustainability, especially in the context of the current situation? Kun Chartsiri.
And thank you very much, Mr. Suthichai. Yes, for more than 75 years, we have been guided by our philosophy of Phuan Khu Kit, Mit Pan. This means to be a trusted partner and reliable co-strain, taking close care of customers and helping them to thrive and succeed in good times and bad. I'm perfectly committed to uphold this. Generations of Bangkok Bank staff have dedicated themselves to this philosophy and helped us become the success we are today. We've always seen our role as beyond the bottom line. Our philosophy is all about building long-term relationship with customers and working closely with them over time so they can achieve their goals. This means looking beyond short-term returns and focusing on how we can enable them to deliver long-term sustainable results. This is what พื่on Koo Kit philosophy is all about. We take our commitment, being a long-term partner, very seriously. That is especially true during time of crisis, when we stay close to customers and provide the support they need to endure the situation. We have demonstrated the commitment during the 1997 Asian financial crisis and the 2008 global financial crisis. We are doing the same now during the COVID pandemic by providing customers with sufficient liquidity to test themselves in the initial challenges they face. After which, we focus on assisting them to restart or recover their business, and then remodel how they work to create new opportunities in a changing environment. Our success as a bank depends on the success of our customers. We are successful when we help people create business that are sustainable in the long term, and when we help individuals and families become financially secure so they can thrive and achieve their aspirations today and in the future. We believe this approach will also support the economic and social health of society at large.
Yes, thank you, Kun Chartsiri. Kun Suchitra, you are now, in fact, talking to us from Europe, and sustainability on the global basis. When you look from outside Asia, sustainability, does it mean the same thing? Asia, Europe, the United States, and the rest of the world?
Absolutely, Khakun Suthichai. Sustainability on a global platform is the same. At IVL, we have a global footprint. And we feel that sustainability, especially in the adverse situation that we've been in the past 18 months with this pandemic, we feel that being resilient and being agile in response to these adverse comments is what sustainability is about. And it's working in partnership with others, with the entire industry, to be ahead of the situation and focusing more closely on health, safety, and well-being of our people. I mean, business continuity for us is all about health, safety, and well-being of our people today. Because without that, how would we be operating on a global platform in this pandemic situation? So this has actually opened our eyes to see the resilience of IVL and how enabling functions have helped us to be in the forefront of this pandemic. Even our business potential and resilience is tied to the environment responsibility as well, and social impact and empowerment. So the pandemic has thrown that the global platform business continuity, to be in the forefront of everything, you have to be agile and resilient. And that is what sustainability is all about. It's just not climate change. It's business continuity and the well-being of people who've been in the front line today working for us throughout these 18 months.
Kun Thapana, the pandemic, has that changed your view or definition, or has it broadened your definition of sustainability?
Well, I experienced pretty much aligned from what Kun Suchitra has shared in here. I think with the resilience of how each of the corporation be able to strive themselves through these difficult times, I think it's proven, on how agile or how adaptability in each of the organization be able to tag along the changing environment. But if I be able to share to all the participants that in here, and if I put up the word as you question us, Kun Suthichai, about how do we view of the sustainability as the word, I think in the long past of many decades, everyone talking about growth, about how in each of the business sector be able to drive its own growth. But now we have additional adjective, another vocabulary to add on as a sustainable growth. So we are more mindful instead of trying to push ahead and win over the among all, whether or not we are seeing the with all the related stakeholders be able to come forward together and be able to benefit or even the enjoying the future that we're creating all together. So in the long past, it might be a word about inequality that we're trying to bridge the gap. It's still the issue that we still have to define it today on how to ensure that each and everyone be able to reach out with the basic quality living that we all human beings are supposed to enjoy. And then when it comes to the word of sustainability, they're becoming more mindful about like circular economy, that when we're talking about how we used up all the natural resources, as Mr. Ronishan mentioned earlier this morning, whether or not the older generation, seems to spend on with all the resources that they be able to enjoy it, and whether or not they leave the part for the future generation, still be able to capitalize, or make a good benefit out of it. So I think this is about the right balance. If I may, finishing this part of my message, I believe that all the Thai corporation, particularly all the Thai citizens, if we have been embraced with the SEP, guided by the late King Bhumibol on the sufficiency economy philosophy, and obviously even the king right now actually trying to promote the good continuity and sustainability of all of its program. So I think all the Thai corporation, we have been experiencing it, and surprisingly that 8 out of the key industries, that means 8 corporations of the Thai companies be able to rank as the world industry leader, apart from the DJSI. So I think that's fairly interesting on how the Thais and or the business sector in Thailand has been promoted with this word of the sustainability for quite some time now.
Chartsiri, do you think that society is expecting more from companies to cope with social challenges, especially the younger generation? They talk more about the environment, about inequality, and of course, we in the private sector will have to meet that challenge. What do you think the expectations are now? Companies will have to do more in terms of meeting the expectations of social changes, companies, government, communities.
Yes, Suthichai, times are changing, and we think that younger generation is very concerned about the environment and social consideration, as are investors and our stakeholders. Not only are people's expectations growing, but they are highly informed, better connected, and increasingly vocal when they think a company has failed to live up to their expectation. Banks are under the spotlight as we are an essential service that people and companies depend upon, and we are highly expected to be responsible financial service providers. When making decisions, we must not only look at business case, but take into consideration the impact on society and the environment. Many clients are also looking to transform their operation to make them more sustainable. We provide an important role in helping them clarifying their current challenges and risks, identify new, more sustainable business opportunities, as well as helping provide financial support and other banking services to make the necessary transformation. We are providing funding to sustainable projects and companies, ranging from public transport infrastructure to renewable energy and decarbonization. For example, last year, total offering of the ESG, Sustainable Global Social Governance Bonds, launched in the Thai debt capital market total more than 129 billion baht. Bangkok Bank was involved in the issuance of more than 90% of these ESG bonds. We also support the Ministry of Finance in its inaugural launch of the sustainability bond, which received overwhelming interest from investors. We focused on financing solar energy projects in various countries last year as part of our commitment to sustainable banking. This participating in providing a syndicate loan for a 257 megawatt solar project in Nguyen province, Vietnam. The syndicated loan was the first green B loan in Asia Pacific to be certified by the Climate Bonds Initiative. We are proud of the progress of Thailand has made on this front. The country was awarded Sovereign Green Market Pioneer at the 2021 Climate Bond Award. I'd also like to compliment Suchitra and Indorama Ventures for the role they are playing in this move towards green and blue finance. Last year, they secured Thailand's first ever cross-border sustainability-linked Ninja loan. This is a form of sustainable finance that provides incentives for companies to deliver on their sustainability commitments. Mechanisms such as reducing interest for achieving certain ESG goals. Such activities help underpin the importance of corporate leadership in showing other companies how to move forward and make their business more sustainable and profitable at the same time. Banks play a critical role in this process by helping to ensure the economy can function properly, business can grow, and people can have financial access, prosper, and gain financial security while protecting our natural heritage for this generation and those to come.
Thank you, Chartsiri. Suchitra, the expectations, you must have felt it because you run the business on a day-to-day basis and you meet a lot of people, the younger generation, and of course the people who are exposed to digital disruption, the new landscape in this global scene. Do you feel the expectations on companies to do more to address social challenges growing?
What is happening, Suthichai, today is that our economy is currently locked into a system which favors the linear model of production. But today's strong disruptive trends are weakening that model. And it's our time now to take advantage of this favorable alignment of economic, technological, and social factors in order to accelerate the transition to a circular economy. So the expectation from the younger generation to strive for the circular economy is absolutely inevitable and right at our heels. And what more can I say that we have actually put a family member at the head of the sustainability, and which is my own son. My older son, Yash, today is the Chief Sustainability Officer of the company. So there cannot be more trust from IVL than putting a family member at the helm of this, because circular economy today and sustainability is at the forefront of any business continuity today. And IVL, as you know, is the largest PET producer in the world. So it is our responsibility to strive towards giving the 8 billion people on this planet a better future. So, I mean, we've done 2025, we've committed to $1.5 billion to sustainable economy and circular economy. And our 2025 target is to recycle 750,000 tons of PET. I mean, PET is a material with unique attributes. It's got a lot of flack as plastic is a weight, but plastic is a resource actually. And that is what IVL is striving to show. So we realized this about a decade ago, that PET has attributes beyond the normal shatterproof, hygiene, lightweighting attributes that it normally has, but it is the recyclable plastic. It's 100% recyclable. And IVL recognized this a decade ago, and we've tried to make it our competitive advantage as well, actually. So we have committed to recycling by 2025, 750,000 tons, and we're striving to have a global footprint in recycling today. to drive the circular economy. We acquired Europe's largest recycler in 2011 called Winwin. Recently, just last month, we announced the acquisition of Carbon Light in Texas, which has the capacity to recycle 3 billion bottles annually. Yeah. So IVL's footprint in the US is already 10 billion bottles to be recycled annually. So today, about 250,000 tons of a global footprint in recycling is what IVL has. So we are well on our way to achieve our commitment of 750,000 tons by 2025. So, I mean, this is in the forefront of everything that we do today. We've got a joint venture with Coca-Cola in Philippines for a state-of-the-art bottle-to-bottle recycling facility. So we're partnering with industry partners to also bring into the circular economy. And we're trying to replicate this in Latin America and Nigeria as well with Coca-Cola. So these are all what IVL is striving towards our circular economy. And like I said, Yash is running the sustainability program also on the climate change front, where we've got our medium to long-term goals to strive to carbon neutral PET, where you cannot, I mean, as a chemical company, we are going to have carbon emissions. There is no doubt about that. But how are we going to offset that? So we are doing that by having our medium to short-term to long-term goals, by reducing our greenhouse emissions, by reducing water intensity. So all these programs are underway to reduce the climate impact that chemical companies like us have. And we've got a seat at the table today because we're working with international agencies like NAPCOR, Global Partnership, Ellen MacArthur Foundation. So we have a seat on the table in the international arena today, where we have a strong voice in the circular economy.
That's great. Thapana, the expectations from society, companies to do more to meet social challenges.
Of course, Kun Suthichai, the answer is yes, that we're all experiencing more of the expectation. I think no doubt, because the younger generation are more mindful, and the young consumers and the new consumers are much more mindful than over decades ago. And we have to give a credit to the United Nations, I think, with their SDG Sustainable Development Goals that they launched since 2015 towards 2030. I think, they're creating much more awareness. And since the year now 2020 towards 2030 as their named it as a decade of the actions. So I think because of the stage of the development, if we comparing to the earlier version as the Millennium Goals of the United Nations, that was during 2000 to 2015. I think back then all the Thai corporations just, kind of came out from the financial crisis of Tom Yam Goong back in 1997. So we're not as strong, we still be able to, adapt through of those difficult times. So if you're talking about whether they are growing in terms of expectation, I think because we trying to create awareness, and that awareness turn into the needs and the expectation of how each of the corporation or even into the consumers, they asking for something different, something more beneficial, and have that spin of the positive impact towards the society. So with that, Kun Suthichai, I think that's obviously the new trend, that everyone that have to participating in. And I'm sure that with this new forward thinking, we're creating more of the innovative ideas. A lot of great ideas will come along, because all the developments, it's balancing out between the cost and the benefit.
Sure.
Whatever that we do and put into actions, definitely there would be a cost into it, whether or not we're creating that positive impact. And now we are not talking just the profit generation out of from the business, but we are talking about the social goods and the much more broader impact into the greater society. So I think with all the business, the corporation, I think we all now aim to grow sustainably. That means we be able to creating the positive impact to the greater society while we still be able to strive ourselves to grow, the bit by bit. I think that's a very interesting challenge that we're all trying to deal with, and that we have to engage with the new mindset. That means, for the younger generation, the people, who have that public mindset, that be able to join force, particularly for all the business sector, instead of we trying to compete against one another. Instead of that sea of competition, can we turn it to be collaboration? That we will join hand to doing something good for the society, for the country, or for the planet Earth, for the entire world. I think that's something that we are all striving at. So I would say that with that kind of awareness, obviously it will give us a brighter, promising future that we will experience in the very near term.
Yes, thank you. That brings me to this very important question of the role of the company. Kun Chartsiri, what is your personal view of the role of the company in society? Of course, 20, 30 years ago and today, that view of the role of the company must have changed dramatically. What is your personal view, Kun Chartsiri?
Thank you, Suthichai. Our role in society has definitely changed. Thailand has become more developed and wealthier, and people are generally better off now than they were a generation or two ago. However, many people and communities have not benefited as much from this and face a range of life challenges, from cost of living and access to opportunity, to having the knowledge and skills people need to prosper in today's society. Society has become more complex of people's needs. Not only do people need more to meet the minimum cost of living, changes in how we live and work, and the impact of digital transformation on everyday life. That's a significant challenge to people who are affected by the digital or educational divide. As a large Thai company, we have a responsibility to act as good corporate citizens and do what we can to help empower people and communities so they have a fair chance in today's world and not left behind. The rest of the society move forward. People also expect this of us. So this is one way in which the role of the company has changed. Another key change is the way we help provide support. In the past, it was much more focused on making financial contributions to causes or institutions. We still do that, but we and most other companies, as Kun Thapana and Kun Suchitra have mentioned, are now more focused on providing more sustainable support that enables the potential for people and communities to create a positive future for the future. Our philosophy of Kun Ku Kit Mit Kuban support this approach, and we adopt a broad definition of sustainability that cover a diverse range of important issues and considerations, including environmental and social impact, governance, and promoting long-term financial and economic viability. Today, it's much more about how the way we do business create opportunities for others, rather than what we give to financially for good causes. But mean that helping people and companies develop their skills, robustness, and resilience they need to access opportunities and create a secure future. Ensure the way we do business, the positive outcome in this area. Takes time, and we have the long-term commitment and perspective needed to create opportunities together with our stakeholders. In terms of corporate philanthropy, we look at sustainability in terms of supporting initiatives that empower people and communities and help them to develop the skills they need to stand on their own feet and make good decisions that benefit their future. It helps people develop the strong roots they need to grow sustainably and weather crisis. Also have a long history of supporting Thailand's cultural and natural heritage to help preserve these unique treasures for future generations. We provide a wide range of support. For example, during the emergencies, we provide humanitarian assistance, for example, reconstruction after the tsunami, providing food and restoring water supply during the 2011 floods, and providing food pantries for people in need and drinking water to hospitals during the crisis, as well as financial contribution to medical centers. We also seek to provide help that assists people and society over the longer term, such as financial support to help customers get through a rough patch. Our activities cover a broad spectrum. We want to bring benefits not only to our business, shareholders and staff, but also to the communities that we operate, society at large, and the environment. We have a strong focus on education. We see our young people as the future. We have many long-standing educational projects such as building schools, providing scholarship, the Book for Life, and Imagination Project, and Gua Luang Gautan Crew Project to rescue for teachers. Some of our environmental projects include working with communities for water management, reducing the risk of flooding and drought, and financial efficient clean energy system. If we do all these things, it will have a positive effect on your business and can help strengthen its competitive position by building social capital and strengthening the license to operate with the stakeholders.
Thank you very much, Kun Chartsiri. Kun Suchitra, the role of the company, as Kun Chartsiri has explained, has changed dramatically. What is your view on the role of the company in society these days?
I feel that change is the only constant. So even as a company, IVL has evolved in the last 30 odd years of its existence in Thailand. And today, things are, like the title is so appropriate for this, beyond the bottom line. So we are not only a company which is here to make profits, but we have to think beyond that. And that is our sustainable strategy today. It focuses on 3 core elements, which is necessary to even meet our 2025 targets. We have to protect the environment through responsible operations, empower our people and transfer the value to our stakeholders, and drive economic prosperity ethically and innovatively. So it's a more of a value creation model today, rather than just a profit-based company. We have responsible operations today. Our operations and products are focused on being environmentally friendly, contributing to the circular economy, minimizing resource consumption, and reducing emissions to fight climate change and contribute to the circular economy. So, I mean, today the business operations are more responsible nature, rather than what they were 10 to 20 years ago. So that is the evolving nature of the organization to meet today's demands. We have an empowerment culture. Our respect for human rights, engagement and investment in capacity building are creating shared value for our stakeholders, demonstrate our commitment to achieving a long-term success. And the company's success is our stakeholder success. So it's a value creation model, like I said. Then we have our business potential is also based on our governance standards. Our business is based on integrity and ethical principles, driving customer experiences through our innovative products, and moving forward to meeting societal needs for sustainable growth and challenges. So it's all about meeting today's, it's an economic socio model now. And without that public partnership, we cannot survive as an organization. So it's all about evolving change to meet today's demands and today's needs.
ครับคุณ Thapana you must have also seen dramatic changes in the role of the company.
Certainly, well, simply if I can put it, instead of just doing it in my part of the business, I think we start to questioning our own good self of how our business be able to benefit the partners, customers, consumers, end users. You know, I think we trying to think out on how we be able to creating and sharing all the value of growth and the creation of those benefit to all stakeholders. So definitely we need to engage, you know, with the younger generation who participating into the program, whether or not they're able to see and understand by their own experience, you know, because in each of the sector they have their own limitation. You know, I've been experienced in working with the public sector, particularly for, you know, the local community development that I'm working with the Ministry of Interior. I can see that in the public sector, all the civil servant or the officials, they are working extremely hard.
Yeah.
You know, but they still have to serve on their purpose and their own objective. But when we are coming along and trying to join hand, obviously there are more issues to deal with. So that means more work. Whether or not they should spare of their own capacity and extend to additional work that they're not supposed to do. But obviously with this mindfulness about coming forward together and growing into the future together, so definitely there'll be changing in roles, because it's coming from the willingness from each and everyone that trying to do good for the greater society. So I think we all learned and adapt bit by bit and coming forward together. I think that's the key. If I use in terms of the metaphor, I think even into the smaller kind of the organization, like our own family, when we have brothers and sisters, siblings, you know, the extended families, we still need to ensure that we spend a good quality time to align in terms of our thinking, understanding and acceptance, you know, and respect from one and each other. You know, it cannot be each and everyone trying to do on their own thing. You know, otherwise we cannot be driving into the same common goals. So I think that's spending in terms of the effort, you know, the coming forward into the future, that on how clearly that we aligned and joined hand, joined force, and trying to harnessing all the strengths and then bring the best of everyone, you know, and trying to creating a more positive impact to the society.
Yes. In this concluding session, I have specific questions for each of you in terms of your own activities to drive sustainability. Kun Chartsiri, Bangkok Bank uses its expertise and experience to help small businesses get started and grow. Can you tell us why and how this is a win-win-win strategy?
Yes, as part of our commitment to be a trusted partner to our customers, we continually seek to provide knowledge to our customers through educational programs, seminars, and workshops, including advice on financial management, changing trends and business opportunities, and supporting them with networking and connections. One of our important programs is Modern Agriculture Project, which provide loans at attractive interest rates for investment in technology that improve farmers' income through greater efficiency. In line with our business philosophy of being a trusted partner and reliable close friend, we align ourselves with the growing needs of our customers and offer specialized products and solutions tailored to differentiate customer needs. This is a win-win strategy. Small business and micro enterprise contribute around 35% of GDP and 50% of the total employment, helping them to thrive, help society and families by providing business opportunities, income, and jobs. The success of every enterprise has a multiple effect. The income they generate ripples through the economy, supporting other business, and creating many economic and social benefits. A healthy economy also benefits our own bank. Grow in line with the economy. Many of our best customers have grown from small beginnings and have now grown to be national or even regional powerhouses. I also like to take an example of a partnership, the Thapana Sirivadhanabhakdi initiative, which Thapana is leading. The nationwide initiative is focused on increasing income and improving the quality of life of people in communities across the country. It is fully aligned with our commitment to help strengthen the business foundation of Thai communities and society and to build economic and social sustainability. We have supported this by investing in the National Pracharat Laksamaki Social Enterprise Thailand, as well as 6 provincial social enterprises. Under this program, which is led by Thapana, all profits are reinvested in the social enterprise to benefit the communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Kun Suchitra, I know this is a big topic, but can you give us a very brief explanation of Indorama's ventures commitment to creating a circular economy? In a very brief, in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. So like I mentioned earlier, Suthichai, that we have a commitment of recycling 750,000 tons, and we've put in dollar terms 1.5 billion behind it. I mean, we want to retain the value of our resources, not as waste, but keep it in the circular economy. PET is a great material to work with. It is an integral part of our daily lives. It is not something we need to throw it away, but use it as a resource back into the circular economy. But to develop the circular model, we require a lot of effort, which IVL is in the forefront of doing it. It requires developing a great infrastructure to collect the waste, to use it as a feedstock in new materials. We need to launch scalable technologies that can recycle plastic waste. And for that, we are tying up, we're always looking to empower new solutions, new startups. We've tied up with 1 or 2 and how to scale them to make them a model for recyclability. We need in those countries to get FDA approval where we can use recycled PET back into food and beverages. For example, Thailand and India do not today. It's not FDA approved to use rPET. If things like that get approved, it makes recyclability back into the circular economy much easier. Closing the loop will require collaboration across the value chain. We are collaborating with various industry partners, being a leading voice. We've got a seat on the table so that we can drive improvements in systems that produce, use, recover, and process plastics. The most recent actually step has been EPR, which is the extended producer responsibility, which IVL has signed up for. There are 150 organizations worldwide, from retailers, manufacturers, distributors who've signed up for this. The economics do not stack up, frankly, if the producers, manufacturers, retailers, we who put packaging on the shelves, do not take responsibility for this. And funding is required to sort, collect PET to bring it back into the economy. So this is one of the big steps which has been promoted by the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, and IVL is in the forefront and has signed up to take the responsibility for being one of the largest producers of PET.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, finally, Thai Bev is well known for supporting rural community as well as education, arts, and sports. Most recently, Thai Bev has started several programs to support social enterprises as well. What is the reasoning behind it? What is the objective behind it?
Well, apart from all the initiative from the healthcare, education, sports, the arts and culture, and Kun Suthichai, as you mentioned, that recently, that's in the last 6 years, that's quite recent. But talking about on how we promote in terms of the community development, that as a program that actually going across the country, with the strong support from Bangkok Bank and Kun Chartsiri also that helped to participating in. I think back then there was the initiative of public-private partnership on how each of the business sector that be able to join hand together with the governmental department to be able to promote, and I'm happen to be assigned to actually dealing with the local economy development. And as I shared, to the panel some of the key initiative that we would like to not just creating that growth of the business by own good self, but would like to creating and sharing that value of growth across all the stakeholders. And with this kind of initiative on the setting up the social enterprise, I would say that we be able to join hand, cut across from all the sectors, from public sector, private sector, academia, and also civil sector, definitely the link to the people sectors as in each of the community. We named some of the rules of engagement that the community have to do things by themselves, because we cannot help to do that for them. Otherwise, when we stepping out, they wouldn't understand on how to deal with it. So the community have to do things by themselves. The private sector will come to help promote, and the public sector, which is the government, will come to help support. So the cut across with all the sectors, we are trying to promote with all the key community developments, or you can say this about grassroots economies, that we're trying to improve, the contribution out from the GDP, which is the economic indicator at one point, that now generating roughly about 1.6%, from the grassroots, and we would like to see that increasing from the 3% to 5%, to 10 to 20%, as what the SMEs and all the large cap, has generated part of the GDP. So I would say that I've been experienced a very good support from all the private sector that we are working across, in which all the participants will get to hear from the key drivers, such like Kun Timapon in just a few more minutes. And then from all of this initiative, we will to learn what are the needs of those local communities, and whether or not we be able to play the role as a collaborator to help connect and creating the network for them to be able to strive, and growing in terms of their capacity, their capabilities, and to basically creating the benefit for the organization or for the community that they're involving in. I would say that another, the win-win war, in which they'll be discussing right before the session here, war, it stands for willing, able, and ready. It's not about creating a war or anything, because that willingness and ability and the readiness for each and everyone, and you can see in here, it seems that pretty much all the younger generation, that they group up.
Yes.
And even today, after 3 years that we have been delivered or initiating of this campaign, they're becoming some kind of the community and a forum that they're exchanging. As pretty much as what Kun Chartsiri has shared with us, that Bangkok Bank has always been the thinking partner as Kun Kukit, to each and every customer, and this, all the younger generations, they're becoming as a thinking partner to one another, and they're trying to connect the dots. And actually things are be much more powerful because there's the collaboration effort and the capabilities that be able to brought in. So I would ending part of my session as of how, apart from creating awareness of sustainability, and if we be able to change that mindset from me with the M to we as a W, that we are all together. I think everyone are quite familiar with it, but that's mean changing the mindset from self, to us all. I think that's important, instead of trying to competing with one another, whether or not we be able to collaborate for the greater goods of our society.
Yes. If you turn me upside down, it becomes we, right? So from one person to
more
multiple people, to a lot of people, right? So thank you very much, Kun Thapana, Kun Chartsiri, and Kun Suchitra. This discussions, the conversation on empowering partnership for sustainability has been very instructive and very inspiring. I congratulate you, at least the leaders of 3 very important business institutions, in trying to drive changes that meet the challenges of the present time. And it is clear that your sustainability projects or your philosophy in promoting sustainability will be very important in our current effort to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you again, Kun Chartsiri, Kun Suchitra, and Kun Thapana.
Thank you, Ka. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.